Guys, welcome to another episode of the Shareholders podcast. Thank you for investing. I'm doing this show today slightly under protest. This is the first time it's my own show, and you would think I'd be able to do it the way I want to do it, but folks been clowning, man, and the clowning stops today. So we're going to get it out. We're going to get it on, and that's it. There has been bubbling up. There has been a rumbling. There's been some dissension of people talking about Spider-Man. Okay, now we did a great show. My God, like the wait list is already, the waiting room is getting so full already. We're gonna get into this. Wait a minute, I got like 6 people already in the waiting room. I have again with me, Holy Shinobi himself, Mr. T. X Webb. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm ready to ruin some dreams today.
Yes, he'll be my constant today. Let some people in. So basically, this is it. I'm gonna let some people in right now. So here's one of the movie club members here. Here's the situation. People are trying. There's a thing. We've basically had Tobey Maguire play Spider-Man. We've had Andrew Garfield play Spider-Man, and we have had the great Tom Holland play Spider-Man. There's a lot of people trying to get in right now. Hopefully they'll wait. I need to put something out and let people know we try to get everybody in. Now, the first Spider-Man, they've had 9 of these. Well, no, 10 count as Spider-Man. I guess do we need to count?
It'll definitely be like my final resort in my argument when things get
Miles Morales. Do we need to count Miles Morales?
Yes, okay, he needs to be counted because he'll be brought up in later points for me at least.
Right. So a lot of people, because he was the first, have an affinity with Tobey Maguire, which is fine. I mean, you can have that affinity, but let's be real, because for God's sake, it's Tobey Maguire. Some people, I don't know, there's a few people that rock with Andrew Garfield, but those of us that got good sense, it's really just Tom Holland. So I have one of the movie club members on right now. We're gonna get to him first. Start with him. Yes, he's here. Yes, he's black as well. If you didn't know, if you couldn't tell, he's black.
It's Black Fathers Matter.
Sir, let's just get to it, man. Which Spider-Man you rocking with?
Andrew Garfield.
Oh God, what? Have you lost your mind?
Interesting.
Andrew.
Okay, why?
He had Tobey Maguire he's cartoony, man. Like he don't have any real emotions. Like those. I don't like the first movie. The second movie is one of my top 10 superhero movies of all time. Then the third movie, we can all agree that the third movie is trash.
It was trash.
The third Spider-Man is unspeakable.
And then you go to the Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. Decent, good start. Then the sequel fell off the rails, like Jamie Foxx, top 10 worst villain performance of all time. But Andrew Garfield is good. I feel like they perfectly captured the angst of high school Spider-Man. And then Tom Holland, he's just too happy. He's too happy to be a hero.
Tom Holland.
He's got boyish looks.
Because Spider-Man has
But he's a little kid.
That's the point.
But see, okay, let's keep it real. Here's my thing with Tom Holland. You gotta base it pretty much. I mean, you basing it from the comics. Everything we're taking is from canon. It's from the original IP, which is in the comics. Okay, so he's a high school kid. That's what I'm taking it from. I'm old enough to know That's why when I first saw Tobey Maguire, I was like, "What are we doing? This dude looked 37 years old."
He was
Like,
26 when
what are we
he
doing?
played a 15-year-old in
No.
2002.
He can't be. You know
And
what I'm
what's
saying?
wrong with Garfield?
And so I don't know that. And so we went through that. I'll be honest, I'm not even a big Mary Jane was
Kristen Dunst.
I'm not a big Kirsten Dunst fan. I didn't like the pairing at all. Andrew Garfield, I think, was the Hollywood, here's Spider-Man, what we want Spider-Man to be, but he just didn't have that I don't know, he just didn't grab me. He didn't. It's like, okay, cookie cutter, Spider-Man, we get it. But it didn't dazzle me. Tom Holland gives you the boyish looks. He got spunk. He can hold his own in the Avengers. I just feel like that's exactly what the comic Spider-Man was. I don't know. So now we got our experts. So X, what is your first? Because we got to get to a lot of people in here. I got to get a lot. Right. What is your team?
I am pro Tom Holland. That is my stance, and that's what I'm going to stand. I'm going to say he is the better Spider-Man in the movie portrayals that we have got. I will not say best. I'm going to hold that into reserve. He is the better Spider-Man out of Andrew Garfield and out of Tobey Maguire. He was a teenager when he actually, started, Tobey Maguire was like 27 in 2002 when it first started. And Andrew Garfield, I respect anyone who favors Andrew Garfield, but he also was just like too perfect, if that's a thing. Like he was, because he was popular with ladies and athletic. He was like a pro level skateboarder.
Yeah, like who was he popular with? What ladies?
He was
was Emma Stone.
He was listen. The point was like he was athletic. He was popular with Oscorp. He got on with Oscorp. Everything was handed to him.
It went too easy for him, right?
It went real easy.
Spider-Man is not Bruce Wayne.
As opposed to Tony Stark going to your house and handpicking you and hitting on your aunt.
Right. He was already Spider-Man before.
But Earl, here's what I'm trying to say. Andrew Garfield was trying to be like a Bruce Wayne type of Spider-Man. Spider-Man is not Bruce Wayne. He is not.
I disagree with this statement.
What?
I do too.
Why? I don't.
Andrew Garfield had it the toughest out of all of them.
Andrew Garfield did not have it the toughest out of them. That is not true at all.
Okay, wait, time out. So Nate is here. He has another viewpoint.
It's the only viewpoint there is.
What does it say? Go ahead and say it.
Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man, hands down.
Why is he on here?
Why is Andrew Garfield on here? That's the real question.
Why, Nate? Speak your piece.
Why would Tobey Maguire be the greatest? Why, Nate? What's your reason?
Why? Okay, look. I took some notes on this. Look, first off, he embodies the character of Peter Parker, unlike any other Spider-Man. Okay, like that's undeniable. He took on the part of Peter Parker, unlike any other person who plays Spider-Man. Like his nerdiness, his geekiness, him being bullied, everything was to the T of Peter Parker. That's hands down. You can't even dispute that, right?
Yeah, we can. We can though.
No, I'll give you nerdiness. I'll give you. He was nerdy.
Okay.
The problem was he had an AARP card because he was 42 years old when he played the role.
He's 31 years old getting bullied, man.
It don't even matter. He did it so well.
In high school.
Look, he was a 31-year-old who played the perfect part of a teenager.
Right.
Like you wouldn't even tell that he was 31 until later on in life. Like I know
is a stark difference. But go ahead. Finish your.
Second off, Tobey Maguire carries a theme of with great power comes great responsibility better than both Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. As a matter of fact, Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield didn't even really carry the themes about their movies. I mean, they did. They kind of hinted at it, but all the trilogy, throughout the whole trilogy, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, you can see the theme heavily carried on Tobey Maguire with great power, which is literally what Spider-Man is with great power.
I disagree with that.
I also disagree as well.
Yeah. Can I have a rebuttal? Can I vouch for Andrew Garfield for this great power comes great responsibility?
Go ahead.
The whole theme of the second movie is great power becomes great responsibility. Emma Stone's father, I forget her, is it Gwen Stacy? Gwen Stacy's father
Gwen
told
Stacy,
him,
yes.
leave her alone. She's not supposed to be in your life because of who you are. And he learned the hard way about how having power comes great responsibility when she broke her back and died. Same thing when he became depressed and what's my man, Rhino Man, was running all over the city causing havoc. And then he realized, he was like, I've got this great power. It's up to me to defend this city. And the ending shot is him taking on his responsibility and defending the city and pushing that little kid out the way.
Listen, Andrew Garfield is my second choice. Like,
he's also my second choice.
Oh
as well.
my
he's second
God.
for me. Like, I'm not.
Dude.
I just feel like what I believe Peter Parker to be from the old school comics and all that. I really felt like Hollywood. It's like sometimes, like in wrestling, I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. In wrestling, they try to groom a champion. They try to, okay, this guy's big and strong, and they try to put the belt on him, and the fans reject it because they be like, man, it ain't organic enough. I just felt like they saw the Tobey Maguire thing. Okay, runny little dude. Now let's totally get away from that. Let's cut this guy out of stone.
Right.
And it was a little too far. So I'm not saying Andrew Garfield, he's young enough, first of all, which is my biggest thing with Tobey Maguire. And I'm sorry, Tobey Maguire, that whole dancing mess in the third movie.
Thank you. I don't want to.
The third movie, listen, the third movie ruins it ruins the legacy of Tobey.
If we're being honest, I'll take the third movie over Homecoming any day.
That's
any day.
What are you doing right now?
What are you here?
What did you just say?
Dude,
that's absolutely.
Dude, literally, Tom Holland is an Iron Man Jr. He literally like stands in the shadow of Iron Man. He is not his own Spider-Man. Like
he was swing dancing in the street.
Wait, no, Nick, no, because let's talk about it. Because I also brushed up on some things, as some people do. Okay, so you're saying you'll take Spider-Man 3 over Homecoming. Now here's why you're 100% wrong. Because on paper, both of those movies do the exact same thing. The execution is what matters the most in these movies. Both of these movies, and I think it's the downfall, for every Spider-Man movie up this point. They introduced too many villains at one time. And the execution of balancing who is going to be the main villain always gets lost. Where Spider-Man 3 failed, it tried to have 3 main villains in one movie, and it failed miserably. We can't have Sandman, Venom, and Peter Parker was a villain in that third movie. If we're being 100% honest,
a mess, a whole mess.
Turn on it. He just ruined every relationship he was in. Right. Just teared him, and Topher Grace, right? Okay. Spider-Man Homecoming does it. Here's what Spider-Man Homecoming does. It has three to four villains. It has the Vulture, it has the Shocker, and it has the Prowler in one movie. The main villain is the Vulture. They all work under the Vulture. The Vulture isn't just Spider-Man's external enemy. He's also his internal enemy, because the whole point of Homecoming is to get Liz, who is his crush, to go to the dance with him, who also happens to be the supervillain's father. That's the whole point of the movie, on top of him trying to be his own superhero and trying to find himself. It's a teenage coming of age story and all that. It never strays from that. Ever.
I have a question. How do we feel about Far From Home?
I like that especially much better than Home.
I like Far From Home.
I like Far From Home.
I don't like Far From Home.
You didn't like
why not?
Because he's supposed to be your friendly neighborhood
Spider-Man.
And this dude is swinging around Paris.
At the country. I can respect
that. Like was brought up earlier. I think the MCU is kind of positioning him to take the place of Tony Stark of all the tech.
I think that was a point of that movie, Far From Home. The whole question they're trying to ask you is like, is he gonna replace Iron Man? Which is, I think, is a weird question to ask for Peter Parker because he's his own entity. But that is the question, like, is he gonna be Spider-Man? And that's the question they're trying to ask. But even that movie introduces Mysterio, which is a Spider-Man villain.
It is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they still take it back to New York, where he's still a Spider-Man villain. At the end of the day.
Well, okay, so now here's my thing. We only saw Tom Holland in the Avengers, and he played a big role. Tom Holland has the big tearjerker scene, you know, in Avengers.
Mr.
He
Stark.
goes away, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so
Feels
good.
so good.
Mhm.
Honestly, tell me the truth. Could Andrew Garfield and or Tobey Maguire really in that moment could they really nail it like
Yes.
Tom Holland nailed it?
Yes, and here's
Andrew
the
Nate,
Garfield
Nate,
did.
are you? What are you?
Nate, no,
100%,
because
bro. 100%.
no,
Hold on,
absolutely.
time out. I'll tell you why. Because first off, you can't even do in the first Spider-Man, first and second Spider-Man, Uncle Ben, who was always told Peter Parker / Spider-Man's father figure, was a big integral part of his life. When he died, Tobey Maguire showed his concern, showed his care, showed his passion when he died. It was a surreal moment. It was like, wow. Unlike Tom Holland, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a really like, wow, that's pretty sad. But first off, why is Iron Man his father figure in the first place? Why is that even? I can't get over here's the reason I have an issue with Tom Holland. It's literally like, for me, it's like almost like copy and paste. You know, it's like I can't get over the fact that, for instance, Homecoming, to me, it was like Iron Man 4. It was I couldn't feel it as a Spider-Man movie. It wasn't Spider-Man. It was I'm trying to be Iron Man, the next Iron Man come up, but it wasn't a Spider-Man movie. Tobey Maguire's movie, the first, the second, especially the second, which is arguably one of the best superhero films to date. Anyway, but you're gonna argue with that? Anyway,
Finish,
the first
one. Just finish. Jesus.
Finish.
Look, when Uncle Ben died, it was Tobey Maguire showed that he could like really show his acting skills and his passion when he died. And it was such a powerful scene because when Ben told him, with great power comes great responsibility, that's probably the most quoted movie quotes of all time from any movie, and that came from a Spider-Man movie.
And people only
That's just good writing.
It's just good. It's good writing, and it's the only credit that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie has is the fact that they audibly, the first person to audibly say, "With a great power comes great responsibility," and that has been like a superhero trope at this point in every, like, not even just MCU, almost every live action movie had some version of that, and that's the only thing that movie has.
Well, and listen, I'm gonna be fair. I really like the first Spider-Man, the first Tobey Maguire one. I really like it. I'm not hating on it per se for the movie. I thought the movie was good. I didn't like from the jump. I didn't like Tobey. Put it like this. I'm like everybody. I remember when they announced Robert Downey Jr. for Iron Man. I was like, bro, what in the world? But so I came in with a prejudice with that. But RDJ won me over. I'm like, okay, yeah, my man doing it. I wasn't even as prejudiced when they said Tobey Maguire for Spider-Man, but just seeing him as Spider-Man, I'm like, he's not. He just, the movie's okay. It starts to go downhill from there. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is a real thing. I was in the theater when James Franco slapped him twice in the face. I yelled out. Like, I was watching, it was like, pop. And I stood, I was like, whoa. And it's like, yeah, brother. What? I said, ah. And people stopped and they looked at me and I was like, don't act like y'all just to see Spider-Man get slapped twice. You can't be Spider-Man and get slapped twice in the face. What are we doing out here, man? What are we doing? Like, it's too much. So, okay, let's transition very quickly. Gwen Stacy. Because I'm not, but do you feel like, who was the better Gwen Stacy? Was it Zendaya or was it Emma Stone? Now,
so like the better love interest for
come on, let's put them all in there. Let's put Zendaya. Let's put
Kirsten Dunst, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. Let's put them all in there. Who is the best love interest?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone.
I'm gonna have to say Emma Stone.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Emma Stone.
Right, and I kind of bring this up because it's kind of not fair because Emma Stone is by far. I mean, she's an Oscar winner caliber actress.
Yeah,
100%. She got that.
She's gonna, I mean, you kind of be crazy. That's to me a much more easier.
Yeah,
and the key scene to that is the second Spider-Man with Garfield when they graduate and he tries to go into that I think it's a Chinese restaurant, and she's like, "Hey man, I can't do this no more."
Yeah.
Rewatch that scene. That's the scene right there for her.
No, she did a wonderful job, and she was just like, I think I think she embodied the Peter Parker love interest like I think the best, because it's like the actions have consequences, and he's wondering, do I include this person into my life because my life is dangerous, and then his life comes to her, and now he feels guilty about it. That is a superhero staple. That is a Peter Parker staple. I think that Emma Stone embodies that perfectly, regardless how we feel about the actual Spider-Man in question.
All right, so now I got one more thing. Now, I haven't watched. What's today? Loki's out today, right? I ain't watched the last Loki yet. But me and X talked about the variants. Is everybody up? I'm sorry. Is everybody up on Loki?
I got one more episode to watch.
We can still talk. Okay, we won't spoil them, but we can talk about it because there is now this conceptual thing in the MCU about variants, which means, and I heard the rumor before Loki where, we might bring back all the Spider-Mans, and I was like, wait, what? And now the variant thing that they're doing in Loki would allow for you to bring in, and it's kind of what they talked about in the multiverse, the Spider-Man, where we got a bunch of different Spider-Mans, and everybody's in all these different, places, and they can all come together at the same point. So let's just very quickly, what is your feeling, panel, just on that concept where we got all of these guys together? Nate, you've been crazy enough, so let's start with your.
Okay. I'm actually not opposed to it. I like the fact that they're venturing out with the multiverse. It's always been a desire of mine to kind of see them branch out into different universes. I grew up on games like Spider-Man Web of Shadows, on the DS, where they broke out into different realms, and everyone knows like Spider-Man is kind of like he has like there's different versions of him. So seeing that on the big screen is always something I wanted to see. However, I'm not quite sure how they're going to do it, if they do it. Again, it's just rumors and speculations.
Yeah.
I don't think that either I don't think that Toby or Andrew Garfield should take the spotlight. I think, of course, it should still be Tom Holland. Like, I believe that Tom Holland is like the perfect fit for the MCU. So if they decide to do like a multiverse type thing, I kind of feel like this should be the only movie that they're in, and they should kind of just stop there. But I don't dismiss the idea of I would love to kind of see them all together,
Earl?
Well, I think it's the overarching theme for Phase 2, because I saw online that like Kang is behind them trying to destroy the TVA, and I think what's going to happen is it's going to get destroyed, and it's going to create multiple timelines. And then that Spider-Man movie, which I went in the nether regions of the internet and I saw that someone was like, I seen the script, and they said Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the movie, over 50% of the movie. So I think they're going to be integral into that, and it's just going to, between that and that Doctor Strange movie after that, it's kind of going to break off, and there'll be multiple timelines, and that'll enable Marvel to do one-off movies like DC is doing with multiple Jokers, but it'll make sense with the MCU because they'll be like, this is just Earth, 565, and this is their version of Spider-Man or Iron Man and stuff like that.
Okay, X.
If they actually commit to having all three of them in there, I will be very surprised. I'll be happily surprised. I am so skeptical of them actually doing that. Just the nature of, we're not gonna do that, but you thought it, and we said so. Of the last three MCU TV shows has got me a little skeptical overall. Quicksilver really did it for me though. That one really hurt.
Definitely.
I'm still recovering over Ralph. That one hurt a little bit. That one got me. So if they actually commit to it, that's great. They still run the risk of the too many guest stars problem that will plague a Spider-Man movie forever. We will see. They could do something else, because I hope it works out, because that movie's gonna have a lot of work to do. As one, set up the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie. It's also got to address Spider-Man getting ousted for his personal identity in the first half of that movie. That's got to be the first half of that movie.
Yeah.
Which we got to figure that out. I'm hoping now. I've heard rumors in that like Matt Murdock is gonna come out at the blue and be his legal defense.
Heard that.
Still highly skeptical, but it's a good theory. I'm rocking with it. Then that movie's got to somehow launch us into like whatever plot takes him to the Temple of Doom to find these multiple variants of himself. The movie's got a lot of work to do. If it can pull it off, great. You know, I'm a come see, come saw type. And I've seen some outfits that they're gonna have him in, and they look interesting. So I'm interested. So you know, I'm not holding my breath on it. Honestly.
Well, yeah, you know what? The only half decent thing Nate said all night, I agree with. And okay, again, no bias, but Tom Holland is kind of the MCU Spider-Man. Just
yes,
way things develop. Like I said, he's been in all the Avengers movies now and all of that. And so now, if what Earl is saying, they're in 50% of it. Then plus what X is saying, there has to be a lot of groundwork laid and exposition just to get to that. And if they're going to be in 50% of it, first of all, it seems like it's going to be a long movie, and they got a lot of work to do in terms of because of the TV shows now. There's so many more moving parts.
Yep.
You know, it ain't just where we can link this part of Thor and we can bring the next movie in and let this little part of Spider-Man 3. Now we got shows, and the shows got episodes, so it's a lot. Kevin Feige, man, you're doing a whole lot of juggling.
Doing a whole
lot.
Here's my thing with the shows. There's no stakes. Like nobody dies in these shows. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna reveal the Phase 2 bad guy on a Disney Plus show.
Shows.
Well, right, yeah, that's true.
True.
Well, okay,
and that's my
so
problem
far. Like if now, no, because I don't know nothing yet. If X, have you seen Loki? I don't know if you've seen Loki.
It comes out tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So I'll say. Okay, we're just guessing and speculating. Like they're speculating the big bad behind Loki is probably going to be Kang, or
Loki,
or just another Loki.
Yeah.
Now,
or Mephisto.
Now that's what I'm going to say.
That is a
Girl
joke.
is right. They haven't really done. They've really kind of just been very moderate with these shows, unless they just flip something crazy with Loki, you know, tomorrow, and I'm like, what? Then yeah, the stakes aren't that high unless they really just flip it.
Actually, because incredibly low.
Is this the last show? Like, is there another big show after this?
Well,
yeah, this year.
No, I mean, series. I mean,
yeah, but what if?
The Marvel What If stuff, but
I mean, like stuff specifically for the MCU that could.
I think they're. I don't think so. I think this is like the last one.
I think this is it.
So there may be something, but
I know there's a
I'm
She-Hulk show.
There's
a She-Hulk show, a Hawkeye show, and a Miss Marvel show that are in production. I don't know if they're releasing this year though. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, these seem to be like the ones that are leading into what we all think everything is going to lead into. These seem to be the ones right now. Everyone else is new. Every other character, all these shows are also like Moon Knight, right? These are in production shows. So I'm assuming these are 2022 joints. I'm pretty sure because we still have. After this is like Shang-Chi comes out and Marvel What If. And then we have the last movie is the Spider-Man Is it No Way
Home?
Not Far From Home. No Way Home. Right. That's the last one.
I think they did that because Loki was supposed to be the last show before the next phase comes about. Because that's why I heard that's why they haven't released the Spider-Man trailer yet. Because whatever happens in this episode is supposed to be kind of, foretelling of what's going to happen later on.
People are going to be so disappointed on this last Loki episode. No matter what happens, this episode is going to be. I told Minister E, this episode 5 lives in my heart, and that's it. I will rewatch episode 5 because episode 5 does everything I need to do. How do you have one character in the goofiest outfit be the hardest Loki I've ever seen in my life? It's phenomenal. Got the goofiest outfit. That's the most Lokiest Loki I've ever seen.
The most Lokiest
Loki I've ever seen. Yes. Anyway, but yeah, I can go on and on about classic Loki.
Okay, so anyway, guys, we just to wrap this up. it's Tom Holland's world. Whether you
It's Tom Holland's world.
If they bring, I just want to state for the record as well, Tobey Maguire is 46 years old. Just know that. Know that.
And he did an excellent job too.
He might as well be sitting on that bench with Captain America at the end of Endgame.
Look,
talking about, I'm gonna live my life. He that old.
Senior citizen discount.
But I'll say this. Despite how old he was and is or whatever, growing up, I felt more relatable to his character. I felt like he was more tangible as a Spider-Man / Peter Parker. Now, when I watch Andrew Garfield or Tom Holland, I don't feel like I can be Spider-Man. Like when I was watching him, I was like, man, I feel like I can just, especially that scene where his, little hairs came out and climbed on the wall. I remember I used to just go around the house doing that. I felt like because he did such a great job as a regular being as Peter Parker, when he became Spider-Man, I knew who he was under the mask, so it made it seem like, wow, I can be that.
I'm gonna have to cut you off there, Sway.
Go ahead and say it, X. I know what you're gonna say.
Because listen, we're not talking about the amount of damage that the Sam Raimi's first Spider-Man movie did. It caught an entire generation of children in thinking that Spider-Man spits out organic webs. Are we not gonna talk about that?
Okay, I get that. Okay.
He fooled an entire. I was out in the playground telling folks, no, it's a gland. In his wrist. In his wrist. You all are wrong. And I got laughed at. That's not okay. It's not factual. That is an artistic interpretation. And that is not.
I give you that. I give you that. Sam Raimi did.
You know why you're wrong, X?
Why is that?
Because I'm not white. Miles Morales.
No, wait. Wait. That's a final point. Earl, that's a final point. Okay, so there's a Miles Morales paradox, right? And this is why I will say Tom Holland is the better Spider-Man. He is not the best Spider-Man because he takes like 35% of Miles Morales' backstory and it's just repurposed for Tom Holland. Down to his best friend, who I don't know what his name is in the movie. But
so can you say it was appropriated?
Yes. Absolutely. Wow. They took the best parts about Miles'
So I think Tom Holland should be X'd out for cultural appropriation.
That's fair. I think it's fair.
And
I think it's fair to
Miles, and then Andrew Garfield.
No, yeah, this is true.
And then Toby.
And then Toby.
We ain't say all that now. You can put Miles. You can put Miles as your 1-1.
Tom Holland is out, man.
But I'm not. No. TH ain't out now.
That's not even Peter Parker. He brings up an excellent point. He can't. That's not even Peter.
Tom Holland is out, and to make it okay, they gave him a black girlfriend. No, man.
You can give.
him two. This is a Tom Holland, Peter Parker's for the sisters. I think that's hilarious. Just because it's different. It's a different spin. Every love interest so far has been black. Liz, which is a vulture, they played it for jokes because it's like, she's black. Her dad's gonna be black. He's a white dude, so she's
and then if we really want to get into it, Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland are foreigners.
This is true.
Yeah,
get them out of here.
They're Brits. It's fine.
So Miles, and then my man's what's his name? The 40-year-old man, Tobey Maguire.
I'll give you Miles.
Is out on 2 instances.
I will give you Miles. I will never give you Tobey Maguire.
We can't give up Tobey.
Okay, then Miles is number 1.
Miles is number 1.
You could put Miles as your number 1. I watched that movie twice, and because the first time I was just like, boy, I was just kind of like blown away. But the second time through, I was like, man, this is really. I love the concept of that, and I like when they take chances. That's why I was big on WandaVision. I just like the curve. Like, I don't like this cookie cutter thing. Like, do something different, man. So I respected the whole. I love the Spider Pig. Like, go ahead, do something, try it, man. I mean, if it blow up, it blow up. But at least y'all tried it. I thought it was so well done. So special shout out, of course, Miles Morales. But as we wrap it up, then I'll put it like this very quickly. Is there anybody else that comes to mind in the MCU that you feel is terribly miscast as a lead character? Anybody that comes up in your mind? I don't see, like, if nothing jumps out at you right now, then it's probably all right.
Don Cheadle.
No, I was gonna say
I'm not the biggest.
Don getting old too, though. That's the problem.
Don is getting old. I was gonna say I'm not the.
What's my man's name? Who was
Listen,
first?
Iron Man,
Iron
Hey,
Man.
man, listen.
Iron Man.
Iron Man,
We
dog.
need more planes.
Dog, listen, man. I'm just saying, man. Like, out here in junk, dog. Like T. Howard.
Okay, I got one. I got a good one. Mark Ruffalo.
I was gonna say Mark Ruffalo.
Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo. Oh my God, no.
Now hold on. We can argue about this, but I came up. The Hulk is my favorite character.
Yeah, definitely.
And the disappointment,
Same.
even with the Edward Norton, like everybody, of course, knows that the Eric Bana one is unspeakable.
Mhm.
Even, I mean, as great as an actor as he is, it still wasn't. I was so disappointed. So disappointed. And when Ruffalo got the call, I had such low expectations because I'm like, y'all have heard us twice. Y'all met Edward Norton is one of the finest actors we have, and it still didn't work. I don't want to hear it. Ruffalo won me back. He really did. Now there's some things, and you go deep into the Hulk canon that I want them to do with Hulk, Planet Hulk. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about Great Hulk.
Right.
I mean, if they can take some steps there, so I'm pro Ruffalo. Now you can say it. I mean, that's fine if it's you, but I'm just saying for me, Ruffalo is.
I don't think I have like a major issue with Mark Ruffalo playing the Hulk. It's just, I guess, how they did his character.
He hasn't had a movie to shine. I don't think
you know, the thing is, I don't think they'll be able to do a full Hulk movie.
They won't. They explain why they wouldn't, but they have. That's why every movie in, they give you a little Hulk spotlight that's always poorly executed. Like Planet, they didn't give you Planet Hulk, but they gave you Sakaar on Thor Ragnarok. That's your Planet Hulk reference. They didn't give you Grey Hulk, but they did give you Grey Hulk in Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron.
Hey, well, real quick, who's Frank?
I don't know, man. I've been having other people trying to get in. I can't get them in.
Oh, I don't want to.
I'm sorry for I done had like 5, 6 other people, but I don't know why. I've had more than 4 on the thing before, but I apologize, y'all. Sorry, Frank. But so for me, I don't really have major gripes with any other characters. Like I love Bucky. I love Winter Soldier. Go ahead, Nate. You got one?
I was gonna say, can I say mine? Now, I don't know if it's the actual character or the person playing her, but either way, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel is a no-go for me. Just totally no.
Was it the movie or is it Brie herself? Because the movie didn't.
Can I say a little bit of both? Honestly, the movie I did not like at all, but I don't know. Brie Larson as Captain Marvel is it's not really doing it for me, and I just feel like I don't know if it's the writing or if it's her as an actress. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it honestly.
I feel like it's the writing because I mean, granted, Hemsworth was a good Thor, but he was on the rocks with that second one.
Yeah,
I feel
we don't talk about Thor 2. Thor 2 is Spider-Man 3 energy.
We gotta give her one more full movie.
Okay.
I think so as well.
That's a good one. Oh, that's it. Okay, not big on Natalie Portman, y'all. Not really.
That's okay, but you're gonna get a lot now.
And I know Dark World, but even in the first one, I felt she was a little out of place for what. I just didn't really see them together like that. Like they didn't make a great match to me. I know she's supposed to be coming back. But Natalie Portman did like. I love Tony and Pepper. I love that's a great pairing. You know what I mean. Gwyneth Paltrow and RDJ. I love that. That works. But like something about I don't know. I just felt like Natalie was not really superhero girl. You know.
Yeah. It's a shame when Kat Dennings has done more with the MCU at this point.
Hey, I love Kat Dennings.
You love Kat Dennings.
One of my favorites.
That's a great point. Kat Dennings is MCU. Like Kat Dennings.
Now Kat Dennings carries for sure.
She could have her own. She got a little. I rock with Kat Dennings for sure. But okay, so that's about it. We really, of course, came to no consensus, but I think we will all give. We can all give Miles Morales. I mean, hey, I got no problem with that. I'm just saying.
I got no problem.
Okay, well, hold on. Can I say this at least?
Oh,
Can we at least acknowledge
Redeem
that
yourself.
Tobey Maguire's films are overall better? Sam Raimi's music,
Disagree.
the suit,
No,
everything was just.
Disagree.
I can't acknowledge that. No.
Oh my god.
Disagree.
Oh my
Okay.
god. Oh
I'll,
my
I'll end. I will end my last statement.
He has the best movie, but overall,
The
they're
first
not the
one
best.
is good, but the two.
No, the
just take-
second one.
Or
You
I'm
don't
talking
like
about-
the second one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the second one is I'm mixing all of them up. Second one is good,
Black Eye.
but
Very
the
good.
third one is so bad.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's
It's
unreal.
the
It's
worst.
not his
It
fault, man.
ruins. It undoes everything
it
you
really
need
does.
to do.
Like I feel
You
like
don't even know. They
worst
don't even get back
thing-
together. You don't even know what. You just leave with this. Like, what just happened? He
the
ends
worst-
the relationship with
The worst
MJ.
two Spider-Man movies are that third Spider-Man movie and
It's the
then the
curse.
second Garfield movie.
Second, I totally agree. I totally 100% agree.
Because they introduced 3 villains at one time, and then you have to. They never balance it right.
Like, why was Topher Grace in that? Like, what are we doing? Like,
We needed a
Look.
Flash stand-in.
man,
Listen, the
that's
first
what-
half, listen, the first part of 3 was on to something with the black suit that was getting
amazing.
everybody in, and then he was throwing Dukes up with
hey,
the
that's a
Sandman.
great movie poster too.
It's
What?
a
You ever look up-
fantastic movie poster.
That movie poster for 3 when he's got the black on it. That's a
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
movie poster. But
If it was executed, it would have been the best trilogy.
But it
Behind
didn't.
the
Fumbled.
Dark Knight, of course. Behind
It-
the Dark Knight.
Fumbled.
real
so
quick,
hard.
man, I got one came to mind real quick, and this hurts me, y'all, because it's my guy. But Tom Hardy, Venom.
That's a good point. You make a good
Okay, I have to
point.
see him in the second movie because I feel like
That's the thing. Like Earl says, you got to give him 2. We're gonna give him 2.
yeah.
What he's is he Flash Thompson? Who is Tom Hardy playing as?
He's Venom.
But what was his like? There's like multiple Venom people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I think he's supposed to, is he not supposed to be Flash? Okay. It doesn't matter. It's a weird one, but I think what they're doing, and I heard this theory about Venom, is that the whole point of them making him like so goofy and making Venom just like this domesticated pet is they're supposed to fall in love with Venom so much that when Spider-Man has to throw hands with them, you hate it. You can't stand it. When Spider-Man has to get rid of Venom, you're gonna hate it because no, he's our alien parasite pet. No, that's what I've heard is the reason why they're building it the way they are.
That could be. I mean, you'll give him another movie and we'll see where it goes. But it was just kind of was. So all right, well, we're gonna wrap it up there, guys. People. I sincerely apologize because I don't know. I had about 6 other people trying to get on. I kept trying to put people on. I will have to check my thing, and I don't know what happened. So sorry, y'all. But hopefully, you got your insight here. We had some interesting takes. We might we're thinking about it. X knows so much stuff. We might have to give him a spinoff show. I don't know because we just let him talk.
I mean, he already got the mic.
He's got a mic in his hand. He's fully versed in all things MCU and all of that. So
I'm ready.
We will see. But thank you, gentlemen, for your time. You guys, please join the Shareholders Podcast, Mighty Sharp Network. You know what to do. Follow us. Stay sharp and be blessed.